Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at my latest Blu Ray haul that I've picked up here in this last week in August of 2020. First of which is a Jackie Chan movie called The Young Master. Most of these movies I've gotten used from a game store, a used game store that is local to me, that also sells not just video games but a lot of DVDs, and they have a lot of Blu-rays too. And they had a lot of foreign stuff, and I've been kind of on a foreign movie kick here lately. So I traded in a lot of old CDs and stuff that I have that I don't listen to anymore, and so most of this collection that I'm sharing with you, I got for nothing. It was all trade in. So this is one of Jackie Chan's earlier movies before he made it big in America. Like I said, it's called The Young Master. Uh, this is, if you've ever seen Fearless Hyena or Dragon Lord, those are the same era of Jackie Chan movies. I like it. It's an oldie but goodie. So if you like Jackie Chan, see if you can pick this up. Um, it's something that you'd have to find on like eBay or in a used store somewhere might have it. It's not something you can just pick up in a regular store, but it's not expensive if you want to buy it. So keep a lookout for it, especially if you're a Jackie Chan fan. Next one is Dolph Lundgren, direct action. This is just a simple Dolph Lundgren vehicle action movie. I like Dolph. I've liked him since he was in Rocky IV with Sylvester Stallone. I like his action movies. He does a good job. This is basically just a straight to video movie, so nothing spectacular. But again, if you like Dolph, pick it up. It's not expensive at all. Next one I have is movie Gettysburg. This is the director's cut. It came out came out many years ago. It was supposed to be a mini series on the TNT channel that was created and funded by Ted Turner, but somewhere along the line they decided it would be better suited as an actual feature film. And I remember going to see it. It's a long movie. There was an intermission. They even had a lot of people dressing up in Civil War era costumes, both men and women. So it was an interesting performance to go see, because basically you had cosplayers, recreators, I don't know what you want to call them, dressing up in Civil War clothing. So it was cool to go to the theater with all these folks. So good movie. Again, not expensive. Grab a copy. Next is another Dolph Lundgren vehicle. This is The Killing Machine. Again, just an action movie, straight to video. Just fun if you want a Dolph action movie. Just turn your brain off and watch. I got Criminal. This was supposed to be like a bigger blockbuster than what it turned out. It's got a good cast: Kevin Costner, Gary Oldman, Tommy Lee Jones, Alice Eve, and it's called Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot. I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Who plays Wonder Woman. So big cast. I just don't think it turned out to be what they were hoping it would be. But I like the cast, and I like a good action movie, and I think it delivers that. It just didn't turn into the blockbuster they wanted. Next one is Skyline. I like a good sci-fi movie. This one's pretty cheesy, but you know what? It's a lot of fun. I remember when this came out at the theaters. Again, I don't think it did the business that they were hoping for, but I remember seeing the trailers and everything. So go ahead. If you like a good cheesy sci-fi movie, it's a good pickup. They did come out with a direct-to-video sequel called Beyond Skyline. I haven't seen it, so if any of you who've seen Beyond Skyline, is it worth picking up, or is it just stupid and I should ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist? Next one I have is this is a foreign film. I believe it's Chinese. Um, Extraordinary Missions from the director of Infernal Affairs, which was a famous, well, it's another Asian movie. Just a good action movie. A lot of gunfights, a lot of gunplay, all done in Hong Kong cinema style. So I like that sort of stuff. If you've never tried a foreign film because you don't like reading subtitles, give it a chance. Some of these foreign films are really good. They've got some dramas and some thrillers and some action movies that rival anything Hollywood puts out. Next one I have is The Package, starring Dolph Lundgren again, and this time he's co-starred with Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin from WWE. I couldn't resist this one. I like both Stone Cold and Dolph, so that was a must-have. Just to watch those two go at it, I couldn't beat that. And another Dolph Lundgren vehicle, Blood of Redemption. This has got Vinnie Jones in it, Billy Zane, and Robert Davi, just to mention a few. So it's got some good actors in it. Again, these are really easy to get. They're cheap, easy to get a hold of. Nothing expensive here. Same with Dolph Lundgren, Direct Contact. Another straight to video vehicle. I like Dolph. What can I say? Here's another foreign one. This is Fury. This is actually a Vietnamese action movie. The girl on the cover here plays a mother trying to rescue her daughter and keep her safe from the bad guys. And she's outstanding martial artist. So if you like martial arts films, and again, you don't mind reading subtitles, pick up Fury. It's cool. Okay, here's one of the new ones I did buy. This one is Flash Gordon, a classic movie from, 1980? This is the Arrow Video limited edition release. They've done a complete 4K frame-by-frame restoration of this. And they've got tons of extras. Look at that. I'm not even going to go into it. If you're a Flash Gordon fan like me, this is a no-brainer. It's a must-have. I've had Flash Gordon on probably every home video format, VHS, laser, DVD. I had it on regular Blu, and now I've got the restored version. So I've upgraded each time because I'm such a fan of the film. It's great. If you love campy sci-fi movies, I don't think it did that great at the box office when it came out, but it's done a lot better since as far as its cult status goes, and it's rightly considered a classic. Here's one. This is called The Vanquisher. This is also a foreign film. It's Asian. I believe it's from Thailand. And again, I like the martial arts movies. And this is martial arts. She's the main character in here. And, again, if you like martial arts movies, give this one a pickup. It's not expensive at all in any way. Here's Sicario, Day of the Dead. This is basically Sicario. Oh, I'm sorry, not Day of the Dead, Day of the Soldado. This is Sicario 2, is what it is. I really enjoyed the first film, and this one was like $5 at Walmart. I really enjoyed the first one, and I wanted to give the second one a go because I never saw it at the theaters, and when it first came out on Blu-ray, I didn't want to pay full price for it, so I just waited for it to go down to the bargain bin price. Here's another foreign martial arts movie. It's called Paradox. It's from the director of the Ip Man trilogy, if you know the Ip Man movies. This has got some great martial arts sequences in it. Just some well done battles. Tony Jaa makes an appearance in here, if you know who Tony Jaa is. He's not in it as much as you would probably hope. I wish he had a bigger role in here, but it's okay. It's a good movie. It overcomes the fact that he's not the main character, and it still keeps your attention. This isn't another new one. This is a new one. Like I say, I had a couple, but this is one of the new ones. This one is I Am Vengeance, Retaliation. Stu Bennett here is Wade Barrett from WWE. I've got some bad news Barrett. Or even farther back, Wade Barrett when he was in the Nexus group. Former WWE wrestler, and now he's making movies. And I enjoyed I Am Vengeance. I like Stu's presence because of the physicality of being a professional wrestler. He's able to handle an action movie. And this is the sequel to I Am Vengeance. And this one, he's up against Vinnie Jones here. So I'm looking forward to this one. Can't wait to dig into it. So if you like I Am Vengeance, just know there's a sequel out now. This is a Hong Kong movie, foreign movie, Asian. This is called Double Tap. This is not a martial arts movie. This is basically a gunplay movie about a guy who's an expert marksman and some of the trouble he runs into and has to use his skills. So I won't go into it any more than that. But again, Hong Kong classic. If you can get a copy of it and you like action movies with gunplay in it, go for it. This one here is called Beyond the Front Line. This is actually a Finnish movie from Finland, obviously. And it takes place during World War II. I can't remember what the name, the Finnish called this a certain war, and I can't remember what they called it. But they were essentially fighting on the side of the Nazis, but they were fighting the Russians, because the Nazis were fighting the Russians, and Finland was also fighting the Russians at the same time. So they weren't our allies during the war, but they were fighting the communist Russia. So, I don't know how I would look at them as far as history goes. It's an interesting period. I'm not Finnish, so I can't appreciate completely the history of their participation in World War II, but it's an interesting film. It's not a piece of history that we in America know a lot about. If you're a World War II buff, you might know about it, but this wasn't something I knew about, so it's an interesting watch. So if you're a World War II buff fan, this would be a good one to get. And again, it's Beyond the Front Line, a Finnish film. This one is called The Prey. This one is a French crime thriller. This character here, this man's in prison, and his wife and child get kidnapped, and he wants to go and save them, and he manages to break out of prison. This girl here is a police officer that is after him and figures out, why he escaped, and actually tries to help him. So it's a good thriller. I like it, and just like all the movies here that are foreign, if they all come with subtitles. Don't let the subtitles bother you. Once you get used to reading them, the movie just goes by at a normal pace, like any other movie. This one here is called Three. This one is, I think it's, I think this one might be Korean. I could be wrong. It might be Chinese. I'm not sure. Again, action movie. This one is not martial arts. It's a crime thriller. This one is called The Thieves. It's also a foreign film. Again, I think this is. Is it Korean? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is Korean. Looking at the languages. Okay, this is a Korean movie. Hong Kong cinema puts out some good movies, but you know what? The Koreans put out some good movies too. So if you like a good heist movie, the Koreans have done a good job with this one. It's called The Thieves. Here we go. This is a movie called The Bodyguard. This is a martial arts film. It's made by Sammo Hung, who has been a friend, a partner, and a fellow student when he was younger with Jackie Chan. They've worked on a lot of films together, and Sammo did this one. And so if you like martial arts, you got to give this a chance because, hey, it's Sammo Hung. I mean, it's got to be good with Sammo. Okay, this is a World War II movie called Company of Heroes. This is really just a direct-to-video film. It's not a big theatrical movie, so don't go in it expecting huge production values or anything like that. I just like a good World War II movie, and I figured this one, would be fun, and that's all I was looking for. Okay, this one here is called The Adventurers. Also an Asian movie, action movie, as you can tell just looking at the cover with all the guns and everything. Interestingly enough, it stars Jean Reno from France. He's a famous French actor. If any of you have seen The Professional, he was the main actor in The Professional, played the main character. And he's been in lots of movies in France and European and in some American movies. So I think this is Chinese. They were able to get him for this movie, The Adventurers. This one here is another action film, Beyond Redemption. I think this is Chinese. I hate to say it, sometimes when it comes to Korea and China, some of these other different Asian countries, sometimes it's hard to tell just looking at the cover. And if you're from those countries, I apologize. I'm not trying to be xenophobic or racist or anything like that. It's just not a country or culture I'm used to, but I enjoy the movies. This one is Gods and Generals. This is the extended director's cut. If you've watched Gettysburg, this is the film depicting the events prior to Gettysburg. So if you're a Civil War fan, this is a good one to get, especially if you enjoy Gettysburg. This one is a new release of an old movie, Richard Burton starring in Raid on Rommel. Again, I'm a sucker for old World War II movies, and this is Richard Burton's character is fighting in Tobruk, I believe, during World War II. Uh, so again, nice to have a catalog release. This is from our friends at Kino Lorber, so I'm glad they're putting out these catalog releases. Uh, Here's a classic. This is also a new release of an old movie. Fred Dryer from he was Hunter. If any of you remember the TV show from the '80s, Hunter. He did an action movie in I think it was the late '80s, '86, '87. Death Before Dishonor. I saw this at the theaters, and it was really cool to see Fred in an action movie. They were trying to make an action movie star out of him, and I don't think it worked. But I liked it, and I liked him. Here we have another Asian movie. This is The Prison. This is also an action movie, but it takes place inside a prison, so it's mostly brawling and fighting, things like that. It's interesting to see the point of view of what an Asian prison is versus what our prisons are here in the U.S. This one is a Salma Hayek movie. This is Everly. This is also an action movie, although it does take place in one location. Salma Hayek is in an apartment building, and she's having to fight back off wave of attackers in an apartment. So it's kind of an interesting premise. Instead of her coming to the enemies are coming to her. So it's interesting to see how they deal with that. Again, not an expensive movie at all. You can find it cheap at Walmart, I think. I liked it. I don't know if anybody else did, but it's a good action movie. And we have another action movie. It's a Hollywood action movie. This is Nicolas Cage, Bangkok Dangerous. He plays a hitman in Bangkok, Thailand, and he has to deal with issues with that. There's a guy that's trying to learn from him, and just the difficulties that go along with him kind of taking on an apprentice during when he's trying to take care of assignments. So it's good to see Nicolas Cage in an action movie role. This is a Western, kind of a Western fantasy, Dead in Tombstone, starring Danny Trejo, Anthony Michael Hall, and Mickey Rourke. Danny Trejo ends up getting killed, and he has to make a deal with the devil to basically save his soul, to keep from going to hell, and he's got to go back and basically kill bad guys and have them delivered to the devil, basically, because they're evil. And so yeah, it's silly, it's ridiculous concept, but it's actually kind of a fun Western, and Danny Trejo's pretty much great anything he does. This one, Burt Reynolds classic, Hooper. He's a stuntman. I believe this also stars Jan Michael Vincent. Yes, it does. This movie came out, I think, in 1980, maybe. Movie about the life of a stuntman. Burt Reynolds knew a lot about stunt work, worked very closely with the stuntman that he was involved with, and this is his movie based on the lives of stuntmen, and the one in particular called Hooper. Okay, this is a Chinese movie called Operation Red Sea. Even though it shows a tank on here, this is actually about the Chinese Navy, naval forces, believe it or not. So I don't know why they've got a tank on here blowing things up when it's actually naval special forces. But whatever. It's a good action movie. Uh, it's very nationalistic, so be prepared for that if you're going to watch it. It's very rah rah China and rah rah the Communist Party, People's Republic, Chinese Navy, that kind of thing. There's even a scene, and this has nothing to do with the end of the movie. It's just a scene that takes place at the end of the movie, so I'm not spoiling anything. Where in the South China Seas, they show the Chinese Navy chasing off our warships, the U.S. warships. So I thought that was amusing that they threw that in there at the end. So, uh, but just be aware that that kind of stuff is in there. But hey, the Chinese love it, and it's a good action movie, so why not? This is a movie called Sleepless, starring Jamie Foxx, Michelle Monaghan. It's a cop movie. I hadn't actually seen this one. This was another one that I wanted to see when it came out on Blu-ray. I did not want to pay full price for it, so waited till it came out at bargain bin price essentially. And this is one of the ones I traded in and got for free. So, um, but even if I had to buy it, it was like $4, and I didn't even pay that for it. Here we have another Asian action movie, Hong Kong movie called Shockwave. Stars Andy Lau. Andy Lau is very famous uh, in China, and I've seen several movies with Andy in there, and I actually like him. He's a good actor, and he can do drama, and he's also good at doing action movies. So he's got his repertoire down to a T. He really does. He knows what he's doing. Here he plays a bomb disposal expert, of course, and that's kind of what the movie's about. It's about a bomb disposal team and the problems that they face. This one here is a direct-to-video movie starring Sean Bean, Danny Dyer. It's Age of Heroes. This is a World War II movie. Again, it's not a high budget or high production movie, no high production values. So just be aware of that going into it. Don't get your expectations too high. But I like Sean Bean, and I wanted to give this one a chance. So, hey, I'm doing it. And last but not least, I have Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. This stars Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's got a cameo by Angelina Jolie. Um, this is one of the first movies they did with full. Well, would it be CGI? I think it's green screen, where it was all digital, and so all the actors were basically acting against nothing. Uh, but it's really cool because they did it in that. Was it Richard Fleischer who did those old Superman cartoons? I think it was Richard Fleischer. Whatever, Fleischer was his last name. I remember that. And so they've got all the I don't know what you call them, the old robots and things like that. Uh, would it be? It's not really steampunk, is it? It's just that Max Fleischer. That's who it was, Max Fleischer. And but if you're familiar with those old Max Fleischer Superman cartoons, they did it in that style, and that's how it looks as far as the deco, the time period, the art, everything. So I I wanted to have a copy of that. So that's it. That's my Blu Ray Haul pickup. Thank you for watching and sharing with me. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments, please leave them below. And I'll see you soon. Bye.